Have you ever really stopped and thought about how our world works? I mean, how can a piece of paper be worth a fortune? Or how can a few words spoken by a judge completely change someone's life? The crazy thing is, our entire world runs on these powerful ideas that you can't even touch or see. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that invisible operating system. See, you have to think of our world as having layers. There's the physical reality, the rocks, the trees, the stuff you can kick. But we humans, we've built this whole other reality right on top of it. It's an invisible world, built on agreements, and it only works because we all decide to act as if it's real. And it's a really weird question when you think about it, right? An animal just responds to the world as it is. A lion sees an antelope, that's it. But us, we respond to how the world is represented. A signature on a contract, just some ink on paper, can literally transfer ownership of a massive skyscraper. So how on earth did our brains learn to do this incredible trick? Okay, let's take gold as an example. In the physical, biological world, what is it? It's just a heavy, shiny, yellow metal. That's all. But in our symbolic world, it's wealth, it's power, it's status. The physical thing doesn't change, but the meaning we've all agreed to layer on top of it, that changes absolutely everything. So what's the secret sauce here? The source of all this power, the ability to turn metal into money and sounds into laws, is something we can call the as-if ability. It's this incredible cognitive superpower that lets us all collectively agree to treat a symbol as if it were the real deal. And you are not going to believe how it got started. So, how did this whole thing even begin? Well, this world-changing ability wasn't invented on purpose. It wasn't some stroke of genius. It was probably born out of a moment of pure, blind panic, a simple, evolutionary mistake. I want you to picture this. One of our early ancestors is walking through the tall grass, and out of the corner of their eye, they see a vine move. For just a split second, their brain absolutely screams, "Snake." They jump back, their heart is pounding, and then they realize, it's just a vine. But it's too late. That intense jolt of fear built a bridge in their brain. The idea of vine is now forever linked to the idea of snake. And just like that, for the first time, a physical object could be used to talk about something that wasn't actually there. A true symbol was born. And this is the key. You gotta get this. Our ability to create these vast abstract worlds didn't come from some calm, logical deduction. Nope, it was forged in a moment of emotional misfire, a hallucinated threat that accidentally rewired how we see reality itself. Now, this new mental tool wasn't just some neat party trick. It turned out to be the ultimate survival hack. It gave our species an advantage so massive that it allowed us to completely dominate the planet, all by breaking one of the fundamental rules of biology. You see, in the animal kingdom, trust is physical. It's built on direct, one-on-one interaction, like primates grooming each other. But this creates a hard limit on how big your group can get. You can only trust the individuals you personally know and have physically bonded with. And that limit has a number. For most primates, it's right around 150 individuals. You get bigger than that, and the whole social structure starts to fall apart because you just don't have enough time in the day to groom everyone. This was the biological cage that humanity was trapped in. But that as-if ability? It completely shattered the cage. Look, if you and I have never met, we can't trust each other based on grooming. But if we both agree to act as if we are children of the great lion spirit, or citizens of the same nation, or believers in the same God, then suddenly we can trust each other. We can cooperate by the thousands, even millions. So, armed with this new superpower, humanity didn't just get better at surviving in the physical world. We started building an entirely new dimension right on top of it, a shared invisible landscape made of nothing but collective belief. And this is what we call socio-symbolic space. It's this shared realm where things like money, corporations, property rights, and national borders actually exist. You can't trip over a border, right? It's not a physical thing. But they are incredibly real, and they have immense power, all because we collectively agree to act as if they do. And to operate in this space, we all wear a kind of symbolic avatar. It's called the legal person. The word person actually comes from the Latin persona, which meant an actor's mask. And the symbolic mask is what allows the system to see you not as just a biological creature, but as a node that can own property and sign contracts. And since it's just a symbol, this mask can be placed on non-human things too, like a corporation, giving it the same power to operate in this space as you or me. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. You can actually see echoes of this ancient mental trick in the most powerful systems of our modern world. When you really look close, our legal and financial systems start to look a lot like highly organized, incredibly sophisticated magic. No, really, think about it. Ancient magic was all about knowing the true name of something to control it. Our legal system gives something power by giving it the label corporation. Magic used incantations, special words to change reality, while a judge uses what's called performative speech when they say, I sentence you, and boom, reality changes. Magicians use sigils and talismans to channel their power. We use logos and currency. A dollar bill is just a talisman charged with our collective belief. They evoked spirits. Our legal code evokes a corporation into existence, a non-biological entity that can literally live for centuries. So, at the end of the day, the only real difference between a magic spell and a legal contract is the scale and the standardization of that belief. When a few people act as if, we might call it a ritual, or maybe even a delusion. But when billions of people act as if, using the same complex, interlocking set of codes, well, we call that civilization. Which, of course, leaves us with one last pretty provocative question. If the entire architecture of our modern world, our laws, our economy, our nations, is all built on a kind of scaled-up, systematized magic, this collective acting as if, then who are the people writing the spells today?